Another government psyop.
Whatever. Yeah, fucking
good luck,
piece
dude.
of shit. Don't tell me what to do. I'm never going to fucking listen to your fucking bullshit. I'll look directly at an eclipse.
I'll do you one better. I'm going to go look at the moon tonight. I don't care. I'm doing both. I don't know how the moon works.
Dude, do you know how you ever been doing something really stupid and realize how dumb it is?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a couple years ago when there was that super moon that everyone was like, oh my God, you got to go out and look at the super moon. I was in my backyard and saw the moon and I was like, fuck, I got to get a better picture. I literally walked down the street to try to get closer to the moon to take a picture of it. And I'm not, dude, at one point in time, I'm walking like, I'm getting, what the fuck am I doing? I stopped in the middle of the street and was like, I am mind-blowingly retarded.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I felt like in solidarity was there was other dudes doing the same thing. I got to get closer to this fucking supermoon.
I would do the same thing.
It was like, and then you take a picture and it's nowhere near as good as what your eyes can do, which I think we're getting close. We're getting close because I think now with the way they're putting chips in people. Like, did you see that guy who played chess for the first time?
Yes. Yeah.
That was, I think that's great, but that's also a slippery slope.
Yeah, of course.
It's going to be to a point where he's going to be able to tell like a sex bot how fast. And that's what I think is going to be the undoing of a lot of people. I think if you have a chip in your brain and you're like paraplegic, that's a great application. But the problem is they should only be allowed to be given to the people who can't move. When you start being like, hey man, do you want to play songs in your head with just like thinking about it? I don't think that's a terrible idea.
That'll screw me up. I mean, I already kind of do that inadvertently. Like I'll play like just a part of a song for the entire day in my head for about probably 8 hours. If I think of a song for too much, if I listen to a new song.
What's the favorite song you get to get stuck in your head?
Oh, I've recently gotten into Rich Girl by Hall & Oates. And the chorus just sits in my head.
It's pretty goddamn good.
It's so, Ryan, it's the best song of all time. I thought about it during sexual intercourse in terms of making love to my girlfriend the other day. And it got into my head. I was like, you'll never be wrong.
Dude, I like, there are times, you ever like listen to a song and like switch the lyrics around? Not because you're trying to, it's just because your brain is like, this is how it should be said.
Yeah.
In Rich Girl, where he goes, it's a bitch girl.
Yeah.
I constantly change it to you're a bitch girl. You're a bitch girl.
That's what he means,
and
though.
like, that's what I think he does. Daryl Hall is not fucking around with that. And I think when I say it, I used to say it out loud, and someone's like, that's not how that goes. It's a bitch girl. And it's like, no, she's a bitch because she can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
She can rely on the old man's money. And I wish I had, would you, not that you would, could you see yourself having a sugar daddy if it only meant one sex act once a year, but it's full out? For a certain amount of and it's only one time, and maybe it's not even as extreme as you think.
Yeah. No, I would absolutely love that. I mean, people give so much crud about just like kissing a guy, making love to a dude. I'm a straight fella. If I'm making some coin off of that, I'm giving him smooches. I'll do whatever he wants. He could take me on dates. I'll wear a dress, whatever he needs. It's not really that big of a deal.
I know you just said you were a straight fella.
Yeah.
But that was super gay.
Oh, yeah, that's gay. I forgot that's all gay.
Was wildly gay. Like, I'm a straight dude, but I'll suck dicks, okay?
Yeah, but I've never made a little scratch off of it.
You know what? It's gay for pay, dude.
Yeah.
It's gay for pay, which I had heard that is the urban legend with porn.
Really?
Is you gotta, if you're a male porn actor, you gotta start out gay. Which I think that's, if you gotta pay your dues, that means you gotta take goose.
Yeah.
I think that's like,
Preach, queen.
I think that's on the slogan for Vivid Video. It's like you gotta get gooed if you're paying the dues. It's like, it's not gonna happen other ways. But I think that then prompted people to start doing that amateur stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it really came into like the full blown, like, and I was a big, did you ever watch Desperate Amateurs? Did you ever check that?
No, what's
channel?
that all about?
Oh man. If you want to go down a good rabbit hole
Please.
of women that you didn't think were attractive until they were taking a dick, it's fucking Desperate Amateurs. It's all these people that are just like,
it's like stinky, yucky mommies?
No, it's, is that a channel?
No, it's just something I thought of. I just how I described. Well, if you're talking about yucky, gross, big old, big whitey.
Anyway, stinky, yucky mommies.
Well, you're talking about if you didn't think she was hot.
Company.
Yeah, with big bodied, wide
it's
bodied.
one of those things where like Desperate Amateurs is they put these chicks on and they're like, I wouldn't say they're unattractive. Some are not my speed, but they're like, yeah, you're not too bad. And then they're like really throwing it back, and you're like, all right, I see what you're doing there.
Oh, really?
I see how you work, but it's all none of these people. I think there's only been a couple times I've watched it where I'm like, oh, I've seen your other work.
Yeah.
And it means that they went from Desperate Amateurs into like they got drafted. It's like almost like a farm league.
Oh, I kind of
it's like the minor leagues.
Yeah.
And then they get drafted up to the big leagues, and like we saw what you did there.
This broad's got potential.
On DA, you want to get in this? You want to get in this real shit?
It is crazy though, like the guys that you talk about, because I've heard the same thing. Like they have to do gay porn initially because nobody's willing to do it.
Yeah.
That's how they get into the industry. You've got to be getting something happening behind you, and you're like, God, I should have just fucking finished the accounting degree.
Yeah, there's
It's like it wasn't that bad. My dad's not that bad of a guy. My mom was cool the whole time. I mean, you've got to just be taken and be like, Dad.
Yeah, there's probably dudes who have been getting railed and like, I was only 3 credits out. God damn it. This is the End Podcast with Ryan Shaner. Thank you for being here. Matt Peoples is on the show. Thank you so much for being on the goddamn show.
Thanks for having me.
Where can people find you? Got anything to plug?
Yes, Matt Peoples Comedy, Men at Work podcast, That Rules podcast. Check them out. They're both subpar to average, so give them a look. And I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
Subpar to average.
Yeah, promotion. I'm good. I'm the Gary Vee of promoting.
That's not. I mean, do you think you would have a subpar to average gay porn career?
No, I would dominate. I told you earlier, dude. I'm gay for the pay. If I'm actually like whatever, this is my career.
You're
I'm gonna go
go-getter.
Speaking of Gary Vee, I will be the Gary Vee. I'll hold seminars. I'm like, when he looks you in the eyes, you got to really feel the connection.
You got to make smoldering eye contact with those goddamn males, or no one's gonna believe it. And I think gay porn is the most believable porn.
Yes.
I think because when you see if you see 2 dudes kissing, I'm like, man, they're really in love.
Yeah, because it's just 2 dudes. There's no bitches lying about it.
Yeah, I don't see fucking just bull crap. Guys trying too hard. It's like guys just are really there. They know what they're doing. They really enjoy themselves. They're really having a good time.
I always think about like, what would that be? I don't always think about that. It sounds like I watch it all the time.
Sound like I always when I'm getting into it.
My friend Pat told me when he watches, he thinks about like after the fact. Do they just? If neither of the guys are into it, what is that dynamic like after everything's done? The shoot's done, they're kind of wrapping up. Like, do they go like, that was a wild one, dude? What was
I'm
happening?
pretty sure it's like anything. I'm pretty sure it's like when dudes are at a urinal and you accidentally see a dude's dick. And you have to go back, like say you're at like a hockey game and you're peeing and you see it, like you kind of like, oh god damn it. Like you just like, all right, dude, whatever. Like you just kind of like try and like just separate yourself from what just happened.
Yeah.
And there's been times that like the urinal thing, especially like at the Wachovia Center, there was one time years ago, and I don't know if this was this dude's like aim to like one up me.
Yeah.
But I was pissing and I fucking like, you ever get the pee shakes while you're pee chills? I got them and I peed and my piss stream went across and hit a dude on the foot, but he was wearing flip-flops.
You can't be
Hold
doing
on.
Uh-huh.
This is where I'm like, shit.
That's on him, though.
Well, this is where like I was like, mother. Yeah, I agree. It is on him. You don't do that. What do you do?
You can't be flopped up at the urinal.
No.
Yeah.
But I looked over and I was like, man, he's like, no, it's all right.
Ooh, worse.
And that is where I'm like, you fucker.
Matthew McConaughey.
It's just fine, baby.
It's all right, man.
He just chuckled. He's like, this is actually how I got my flip-flops in the first place, babe.
You want to see how many pull-ups I can do in a row?
What are you doing later? You want to get some crab fries? It's like, no, I don't at all.
I'm sorry. I pissed on your Tootsies.
God damn. Speaking of hockey, the Flyers season is over. And Danny and I were just talking about it. What a fucking pain in the dick that has been.
I thought they were good this year.
No, they were better than expected to be. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
They were in a position where people were like, they're not going to go anywhere. They went as far as they did.
Yeah. They
They were possibly in a wild card run, but they're on a 2-game win streak after coming off a 9-game win streak.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like when you see that happen, you're just like, what the fuck? And that's what the Flyers do best is their losing streaks are the most impressive thing about them.
Yeah.
It's like you'll be like on top of the world after a 3-game win streak, and you're like, we're doing it, baby.
Yeah.
And then it is 9 games in a row of not just losing, being blown the fuck out to a point where you are like, what is happening in front of me the whole time?
That's why the Flyers and the Sixers seem like their own like the Phillies and the Eagles, they're like the golden child of Philadelphia.
Yeah, they're the favorites.
The Flyers and the Sixers are like the stinky,
we're
shitty,
the retarded children of the city.
We're the retarded kids. We
we're
live
the
in the
kids
attic.
Nobody yeah, we're definitely
we're like, can we come down? They're like, how much you lose in a row? And you're like, 9 out of 11. They're like, that's kind of funny, but no, you can't.
Yeah, they're the kids on Christmas Day who have to sit at the top of the stairs and wait. Like, can we come downstairs yet?
We got you wool socks.
We got no presents whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've often said before when like people talk about, sports teams in Philadelphia and, dynasties that it's crazy because people were calling the Eagles a dynasty. And I was like, what are you fucking talking
about? They're good for
like
2.5 years.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then like, at least the Phillies, like, they have a couple World Series under their goddamn belts and they kind of do great. But like the Flyers are one of those teams where I know why they haven't sold the Flyers.
Yeah.
And there are 4 major reasons.
Yeah.
1, they won in 1976 and 75, 76, back-to-back Stanley Cups. Everyone was losing their mind for it.
Yeah.
2, they changed hockey with the way they played it.
With the Broad Street
Bullies?
Bullies?
With the Broad Street Bullies, they changed the idea of fighting and intimidation. 3, they also beat the Soviets in 1970.
Yeah, that's ginormous.
It's one of those things where, like, us holding on to, like, having an Olympic hockey team coming, like, we're going to roll on you, and the Flyers just beating the ever-living shit out of them in front of the world is amazing. And then, really, it also comes down to the fact that Gritty exists.
Yeah, the Gritty thing's huge.
Gritty pisses me off.
Yeah, he looks like my pubic hair. It's unbelievable. Everybody tells me that all the time, and I'm telling you, this is a public message. Please stop telling me that. It's hurting my feelings, and you're pretty close.
Well, the whole thing is, how many people are you showing your pubic hair to? That know about your googly-eyed pubes.
6, count them 6, and they keep bringing it up, and I wish they'd hush up about it. But I do like that. I mean, the Flyers thing. So they're not in the playoffs. Like, what is?
No. They were looking at like a possibility, and then they just kind of shit the bed with that. Like, again, with the 9-game losing streak, and now it's like their final game is tomorrow.
Yeah,
and it's like, thank God, kind of like. But it goes back. What sucks is that when the season ends, I'm bummed. But then I still, even like a fucking like. The Flyers are like a dad that sucks. That you're waiting for their shit to get together.
Yes.
And every year you're like, this is the year.
Yep.
This is I know he's had problems in the past. I know he hasn't always been there for me. I know like every time I do go to see him, it's a very big letdown. But honestly, I think like this year he's going to turn everything around. And
he's like got it. He's working at the Amazon in Philly.
Every year is just another kick in the balls, and there's nothing you can do about it.
God, I love hearing this from a Flyers perspective.
I made the like gayest decision. I'm like, you know what? I'm not helping fund the Flyers till I think the ownership actually gives a fuck. I'm not buying any merch. I'm not going to games.
Yeah, you say that.
Yeah, it's never worked. Not one season.
Everybody says that. Everybody says it.
Not one goddamn season.
Everybody says it.
I went to multiple games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bought a new jersey.
Yeah.
Like it's
dude, there have been times where I'm like, I ain't doing shit this year. And then you see Owen Tippett, you're like, I gotta get a fucking jersey, dude.
They lure you in, dude. I mean, I get it with the Sixers. It's like, I'm not watching this year. When they were awful, I was like, I'm not watching. I'm not going to any games. And they're like, I bet you want to drink at 2 p.m. on a Saturday.
You're
and
goddamn right.
I sure do like doing that.
And they went out on what, an 8-game win streak?
Yeah, they lost on an 8-game winning streak, and now they're the 7th seed. So now they have to play in this thing called the play-in tournament, which grinds my gears to a goddamn
The corniest thing ever.
I don't even know what that is. What the fuck is that?
So it's the top 8 seeds in each conference make the playoffs.
Sure.
But if you're the 7th and the 8th seed in either conference, you have to play the 9 and the 10 seeds. It's all this like big coagulation tournament of just a way to make money. But basically, if you're in that normal 8 seed range, if you're towards the bottom of it, you actually have to play to keep your spot in the playoffs. So technically, they're in the 7th seed where they should be in the playoffs.
But they have to
lose
play.
out,
they have to play to keep.
They could just not make the playoffs.
Wow.
It's the most frustrating thing. Joel Embiid, he screwed his knee up in the middle of the year. He's been out the entire year. I think about this day in and day out, and it's driving me up a wall. It's killing me, dude.
What would you do? What would you do to motivate the Sixers too?
I would say, guys, if this doesn't work out, gay amateur porn is right in your rearview mirror.
Man.
He's looking at you.
Blow L Embiid.
Blow out. If that guy ever put his hands on me, I'd be done for about 3 weeks.
It would be pretty. How that guy's like 6'9" or something like that.
7'2", I think.
Yeah,
7'2".
It's unbelievable.
That's not real.
You're getting spit roasted, brother bear. That's no good.
With one dick. All the way
You just
through.
hang there
It's
for a couple
all
weeks.
the way through you. It's like when Leatherface hangs you on a hook. It's like just straight up into you. I can't. Yeah, man. And wait, is he's got? I'm assuming he's got like a wife or a lady friend. Or
I
something
think
like
he
that.
does, and I just don't know how that works.
Yeah,
It's insane.
No, how tall is she?
she's like 6 foot.
Oh well, then that's
Is
how
she?
it works.
Oh, I didn't know she was
Yeah.
that.
That's how it works.
That grande.
If
yeah.
she was me,
She's
Yeah.
on the
Dude,
taller.
if she was you, oh my god,
he'd die.
she could walk around with you. Like do the thing where like your dad used to put you on his shoulders at concerts.
I know.
Can you see my knee surgery on the
It's
screen?
so
up there?
gross. Like 69ing must be the weirdest thing. Like
It can't even work. She's
I've hooked up with the tallest chick I ever hooked up with was 6'2".
really.
Was 6'2". Yeah, and I wasn't gunning for her. It was the other way around, which
Yeah.
was pretty sweet.
Let's go.
But we went out, we hooked up, and it was the most comical. Like it was so funny that both of us were like kind of laughing during
During it?
oh my god, because like the mechanics of it were very odd,
Of course.
and nothing was really working out. I remember I told her to sit on my face.
The guillotine.
I was like, sit on my face. And she did. And her ass cheeks were like an earmuff around my. Dude, it was like honestly watching like a horse eat like grain. It was just like over my.
She's not supposed to do that.
And it was awesome. But it was like.
Now,
what-
during doggy, did you stand up?
So what I did,
Yeah.
I did that thing that I did, dude. Sometimes I try to pull out porn star tricks when I fuck.
Ah, you
So I
can't.
did the one leg up.
Oh
You know,
no,
I
dude!
was
Please no. Please don't do it to
You
her.
were like a chihuahua fucking back
Dude,
in like
I
a
was
Great
definitely
Dane.
up on my hind legs, just like down, trying really hard to do it. And it was
Yeah.
like, but that's when you do it. Like those are the things you like kind of pull out the stops for. You're like, we're never gonna do this again. But I remember at one point in time, she was sitting on my face, and then like she turned over. So then it was Jackhammer 69.
Sure.
But my face was just raspberrying the top of her.
I picture her wearing like a cut-off jean vest. She's like, "Lick it, twink."
I was like trying like a giraffe reaching for leaves. I was like, I'll get you.
You gotta
But
defeat her.
she was great. She really
Yeah.
rolled with it. It was really, really funny.
Did you guys keep in touch at all anywhere after?
No,
anything?
like it was like honestly, like we hooked up. We maybe texted a little bit afterwards, but like it just fizzled out. It
Yeah.
never went anywhere. And that was like another chick I dated for a very short period of time. She was 5'11",
Okay.
and that was like another like thing where people like that's the.
What, you scan out the WNBA, dude? What's up with these
That would be
larger
sick.
bros? Really?
You know what? Because I got no problem. I have no problem with like short, tall, or big.
Mm-hmm.
What proportion is where I'm going.
Yeah.
All these women were proportionally built.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just like they looked like they just got hit by a big ray.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm
A
gonna
big
get like a fucking mad scientist just was like, oh no, and just like lost control and hit them. So like,
Honey, I grew the bitch. Excuse me. The beautiful.
I grew the bitch. Don't go to the basement, honey. I grew a bitch down there. She's just sitting in the corner. Just what?
69 is gonna be complex.
I hope you. Why would you do this to me? I'll never 69. That's got to be such a hard thing too. Is like knowing you'll never be able to successfully.
It's gotta be such a
69.
shame.
It's just like, God damn, what a harsh life to live. I don't want to take
Yeah.
that away from anybody, so I'll try
course.
to 69 everybody.
Of course.
Get
And
out
that's
of
a
here.
beautiful thing you do, dude. You've done that for years. And I
I'm going
appreciate it.
80 doing a 69, dude. I'll never stop. But the most humbling thing, and I had talked about a while ago, the most humbling thing about being with a girl who's 5'11", who has mitts the size of a fucking outfielder.
Yeah.
Like, dude, her, like, when you grab your dick, only your hands are on your dick, and you're like, all right, I guess my dick's fine.
Yeah.
Watching someone, like, hold your penis, and you're like, oh, man, you just feel, you feel bad about yourself.
You wish it was a push pop. You wish they could be like,
man.
where's it at? And you're like, here you go.
Here it goes. Because I've heard about hidden penis. I've heard about that, and like I know you can get surgery to like, and it, I've never investigated it.
Hidden penis.
You don't know about hidden penis?
No.
So like where the base of your dick is, apparently like there's more. Like when you get a boner, all that like spongy material, there's more of it behind the base.
Oh, your dog dick.
Yeah, basically.
Yes.
And if you have surgery, it's almost like, you know, like when Marilyn Manson removed that rib, just more comes out. So like if you get more of it, it just kind of like falls out of there like a hose.
Yeah.
But I've heard that the
like a hose,
like one of those hoses, like you fill up the water and it starts to expand. It's one of them. One of them, John.
Yeah, of course.
But I heard that it does lead to early erectile problems.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And that's what, you know, nobody wants that.
I worry about that, dude. I'm a youngish guy. I just turned 28, and I worry about what the wiener's got going on down there. You're worried about what, your dick or ED? ED, dude.
Have you experimented with any pills?
No, I haven't even had any ED issues. I just think about it every time. I'm like,
see, that's one of your issues. That's the beginning issue.
The thinking about
it. The thinking about it.
Before it even happens.
Is the beginning issue. And you know what's going to happen? One of these times you're going to go to bang and it's not going to work and you're going to be leveled.
Oh my God. I can't even think about it.
And then if you're a decent guy, it's not so much you're thinking about yourself. You're thinking about her, thinking about you, about why you can't get a boner.
I know. What do you do?
What do you do?
You take her to Olive Garden or something like that? Or just like a nice place?
You know what you do? You do a Rasberry 69 like I do. It's pretty sick. They love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't. I think it comes down to just doing the most mouth stuff you possibly can.
Well, luckily I have a girlfriend, so if it does happen, we've been together for a while now. She's a bit younger, and so I think
16?
about it often. And I just think about, like, maybe I'll just say, like, I don't know, you've gained weight, or you know, something's changed about you. Like, maybe I put it on her.
I mean, you could, but would that make you feel any better?
That'd be the worst thing I could ever do in my entire life.
Seems like that's the worst. Like, you know what? Maybe if you dodge yourself up a little bit more. You're not even making me hard right now.
I've never had any issue whatsoever, but I just, like, I heard people say, like, once you hit, like, 27, 28, 29, every once in a while,
I think that, first off, unless you have, I think, and again, I'm not trying to discredit anybody's ED, you know, I think unless you already have, like, a medical affliction.
Like asthma? I have asthma.
Asthma's not going to make your dick limp.
I'm just checking. I'm just crossing on my T's, dotting my I's.
Go to a doctor and be like, I have asthma. I'm sorry, my penis is getting limp. I think it's because of the inhaler. There's no way. I can't run
It's an
a lot.
oxygen thing. I don't know how
you know
this
what?
works.
I'm out of breath. I have to put my arm against the wall after I'm done fucking.
Yeah.
No, I think unless you already have like a pre-existing condition with your junk, then I think maybe you should look into like ED treatment. But
all right, I'll skip out on it. I won't even look.
I would say wait until like I'll be 40 in October.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like that's where like I gotta think about my wiener not working, which has never been a problem. That's like, but that's also what worries me. But that does make me worry because, like, you know, say you're driving a car, and you've never gotten the oil checked, and you're like, this car is amazing, and it's just like, but eventually, you know, like, even though you're not doing any maintenance, you know, eventually the fucking engine's gonna fuck up, and that was like what's in my head is like eventually, like, I can't just keep living like I'm in my 20s and my 40s. I can't enter another decade, be like, I'm fine.
Yeah, but you said when you start thinking about it, that's when you start to get nervous. You've been thinking about it for.
But the whole thing is because I'm being told a whole bunch. Like, you're still, you have your whole 30s ahead of you to make terrible boner mistakes.
Yeah,
and it'll happen. Like the other thing that crushes wieners, pain.
Yeah,
if you're in pain, you're not getting anywhere with that shit. I've had boners killed immediately with pain.
Pain from the bone?
No, not from my bone. Like say like so when I blew my knee out in 2016.
Yeah.
And then after like I had gone through physical therapy, I was messing around with a friend of mine and she was like riding me, but she leaned back and like put her hand on my knee and then dug her thumb Like, I don't think she was trying, but she dug her thumb underneath my kneecap. And this was the crazy. It was crazy because I could feel it, and she was also like, what is happening? My dick, it was like my dick was in a condom, and it was like there was being vacuum sealed. It was just like everything was collapsing around it, and the condom was just being like, it was just total. And she's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm fine."
How do you even come back from that?
You wait.
Yeah,
you have to wait. It's almost like, you know. At least she was very understanding about it.
That's nice.
Like, you gotta be like, "Oh no, you knew my knee was bad. Like, that was the knee.
Yeah.
Why'd you fuck with my knee?"
Yeah,
and it was like you had to wait and wait and wait, and then eventually things got back to where they were going. But yeah, like, I've been in situations where I've been getting head, and you know, stray tooth, man.
Yeah,
That'll fuck your shit up.
I can't even imagine. I've never had. I mean, I not too recently. Me and my beautiful woman, I caught her with a rough knee to the side of the head in the throes of love, and that was the one that shut me down.
Now, how do you?
I came with the fury, dude. I came around with a mean turn. Everything's moving. We're shaking.
Were you wearing UFC shorts? Like, what? What? Were you in the octagon?
A ref came in, and I was like, "You got to call this fight."
Was Herb Dean there? Just like, no.
She's sitting on the side. Dana White's on the side of the cage yelling at me. No, it was unbelievable, and that one shut me down.
How did you? So wait, you need her in the side of the head?
Side of the head.
I'm trying to figure out what sex act you could be doing where your knee hits the side of her head.
We were doing what's called the pilgrim. That's a thing I just made up. It's not a real thing.
I was like,
we were moving around. It's just in my head, I'm like, the most movement you can create during intercourse. That's how you know you're a lovemaker. And the way you're looking at me, I've never been more wrong in my days.
The most movement you can create.
It's kinetic energy, dude.
Are you popping and locking during fucking? What are you talking about? The most movement you can create.
I'm hitting the Dougie in bed, dude. There's things happening that nobody can believe if they ever saw.
Like, are you just putting your hand? Like, what? I don't.
You know, it's tough to find out you're bad at sex on a podcast.
I'm not saying you're bad at it. I'm just saying maybe I'm bad.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to do the moves that I know.
Yeah.
But if you're doing more, so like if someone was like, you got to move the most.
Nobody ever instructed me. I just took it upon myself. I said, maybe this is good. Maybe this is fun.
And no one corrected you?
Yeah, it's a track race every time. I'm exhausted. I'm covered in sweat. And
all right. Well, that's all right. So, but what I'm trying to understand is the most movement. What were you like inside her, and then did you like spin around on top of her?
So things are happening, and then like I'll move to a different spot, and then not of the room. You know,
I was going to say, you take yourself out and you're like, all right,
I'll go into
over here now.
I'll go into the closet and I'll send her my longitude and latitude, and I say, you figure it out.
Man.
But yeah, it's insane. So, but just say, like, the actual hit itself, I felt so guilty. I was like, I'm done so right now.
Was she visibly rocked? Was she on Dream Street?
Yeah, there was birds flying around her head. There's a whistle going off. But it's just, yeah, the idea of, I'm like, I know that hurt.
Yeah, there's no way that did.
There's nothing that anything could bring me back from.
When I was she a trooper, like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
She is. And I said, you know what?
Now, did you stopped?
Mm-hmm.
You just couldn't take it upon yourself to.
When you can feel how hard your knee hit somebody's head, you go, why don't we take a break?
You know what? I'm with you. Because my whole fear would be, is if I need someone in the head and then continue to have sex with them.
That's nuts.
It's nuts, but I also start going like, she'll die. And then I have to explain to a corner that she died during intercourse. And I'm like, what's this trauma to the head?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I need her in the head.
Yeah.
And then she continued to go.
Of course.
And then you have to explain to her parents that she was just fine catching a stray fucking knee and being like, no, I want to get railed.
It's more on her than it is on me. Yeah, of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you don't want to put that on them.
Yeah, having to check in the next day. It's like that lady who was like skiing and like ran into a tree and then she was good. There was like a famous actress. I think it was the mom.
Oh, it was
from,
Liam Neeson's wife.
Yes.
Yeah. She got bonoed.
Yeah.
And then she fucking
Sonny type.
She got bonoed, and then she said she was fine, and then the next day she died.
Yeah, you gotta check in the next day.
Yeah, you gotta be. That's again. While I'll never ski.
Yeah,
I'll never go ski. Are you a ski guy?
I went once, and I wasn't awful at it, and I said, "That's all I need. I'm good."
You went one time, you were okay, and you never needed to do it again. See, that's
doing something for the first time and being good at it, and being like, I'll just do this all the time. You're nuts. Do it once, find out you're good,
And
Never
then you
do
can just
it again.
hang it up.
That's
You're like,
it.
yeah, no, I've achieved.
I hate when people do stuff and they're immediately good and then they keep doing it and they're like, that's just your life's purpose. It's not. You're a showboat.
That's like, you know what? I would be great to just do the Olympics one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one guy who's like, yeah, I ran the 40.
Yeah.
And I was pretty good.
Win a gold medal
And
or
then
something.
just bow out.
Just work at 7-Eleven.
That would be sick. Well, that's, I found out recently, I was under the impression that when you win a medal, you get like a significant cash prize.
Oh, really?
You don't. You get money, but nothing like you can live for the rest of your life. I thought once you become like an Olympian,
Yeah.
that's like kind of your job.
I would think so too, yeah.
That's what I thought happened. No. So apparently like if you get a bronze, you get like $15,000 and that's it.
That like covers your travel expenses?
Yeah, that's like nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing. So it's like, I don't know what I do. Like, yeah, what do? You just go back to working your shitty job.
And it
be
doesn't like from a social perspective, I think being in the Olympics, if I met somebody that said they were in the Olympics and they told me that, I would think about it for like maybe 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh, really? I would think about it forever.
If you knew somebody in the Olympics?
If I worked with a dude
Yeah.
who was like, yeah, I was an alternate in the 1996 Olympics.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, there I am. There I am winning the silver.
Oh,
I'd be like,
really?
whoa. That's wild.
Okay, if there's video.
Yeah,
maybe I need
if
the
there's
video.
physical evidence that a guy you work with
Yeah.
who's closing a bar, who's just like, yeah, I was on a team.
You want to see how fast I can close this bar right now?
Check this out. Did you know about anything about the shot put?
You want to check this one out.
He's like, look, we're going to pull it up on YouTube. That was me. I would be showing everybody the
Yeah,
whole time.
true.
I would never not say that.
I was in the bobsled. How is that a sport? You know?
Honestly, bobsled, I would be pumped about, and skeleton. Do you know what skeleton is?
What is that?
Skeleton is like bobsled, only it's one person, and then you lay down head first on the sled and go down.
Who thinks of these things?
I
dude?
don't know.
All the Olympic sports, like the Olympic summer sports, like pole vault and, wrestling makes sense to some extent, like the track and field. But like who thought of pole vault before basketball? How does that happen?
That is pretty wild. Well, see, this is back. I don't know if pole vaulting is like an original. I don't know if that's an OG Olympic.
Oh, it was
sport.
not.
I don't know. When I say OG, I mean like, Roman Olympics. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if they had the thought that would.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but then again, who thought of what the fuck is that one sport where it's you're cross country skiing and then you're shooting a gun?
Yeah, it's like
What fucking maniac was like, you know what? We know what we need to do. Put some skis on.
some guy's best coked up idea. Yeah.
Someone was like, man, this is fucking stupid.
Make him run and shoot a gun now. Make him run and shoot a gun. Please, please.
All right, we got messages to listen to.
Let's hear.
Today's episode is sponsored by Sheath Underwear. If you're tired of having your dick stuck to your balls and your balls stuck to your legs and your legs stuck to your dick, it's time to try Sheath. Sheath is incredible. They make underwear with 2 pouches. You put your dick in one pouch and your balls in the other. It's a total game changer whether you're working the office or hitting the track on a sunny day. I honestly love Sheath because they make my dick look incredible. If there's one thing I love is walking into a room and looking like fucking Alfred Hitchcock coming into the beginning of a show. It's wild. With stretching fabric that sculpts your body and fabric blend to keep you cool, Sheath keeps you looking and feeling amazing. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use code SquirtAlert to get 20% off your first order. Plus, Sheath Underwear is 100% money-back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code SquirtAlert. Get Sheath Underwear and support the show and support your balls. Oh, back to the show. Let's fucking go. You know what? He just won the Olympics for putting them on the fastest.
The slowest guy of all time.
No, that was great.
Hey, Shaner. Long-time listener, 3rd or 4th time caller. Anyway, what's worse in a relationship? If you going through your partner's phone, looking at texts or whatever, kind of snooping there, or the person lying when straight up asked a question about something, and they say, no, that never happened. I didn't do that. But then you find out later on, technically by, I guess, snooping, that's what they want to call it, by snooping, that they lied to you about it. So they had an opportunity to tell the truth, but they lied and decided not to tell the truth. Anyway, I don't know. I'm probably a piece of shit either way. But love the show, and hi guest, whoever it might be this week.
All right, what do you think is worse?
That guy's gotten cheated on in so many ways. He can't even decipher who he's angry
That
around.
sounds very man.
Also, they could just do both to you.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
like, has anybody ever gone through your phone and found some stinky things?
No, the only thing that anybody has ever found on my phone. So one time, years ago, and like, I guess you know what I blame? I blame the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
I blame the cloud. I'm blaming the cloud.
I hate you, dude.
You fucking piece of shit.
I hate the sun. You hate the cloud. Dude.
There is one thing that like because I have a bunch of like fucking pictures on my phone, but like when I start getting when I'm in a new relationship, I go through and delete old nudes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't get them all.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes like you just go back to like the recent ones. You're like, all right, I'm gonna get rid of you, and then like later you find them like, fuck, I totally forgot about that. And the worst part is, like the phone will be like memories.
Yeah.
Like,
a slideshow.
Dude, it's such a fucking pain in the balls. It's like, yo, there's like my friend's dog, and there's a fucking that car I had. There's a fucking big ass butthole. That's definitely not my girlfriend. And it's like put the music. It's like ding, ding,
It's
ding,
Rich
ding.
Girl by Hall Notes.
It's like she's a bitch.
She's
girl.
a huge woman.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
That's I've never had anybody go through my phone.
Oh wow.
And if anybody was like demanding to do that, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What is going on here? Because usually the guilty party is the first to accuse. Like the person who's like very suspicious of you is almost like because they're the guilty party.
Yeah.
Of what's going on.
I can agree. I had my phone gone through in college, and I was about as guilty as they can be. I just kept. I went through a period in college where I called every woman babe on the first DM, and it was one of the more horrifying things a guy can do. Yeah. And then my girlfriend woke me up in the middle of the night with a sternum punch, and I mean a sternum punch. She came down on the solar plexus with the force of 1,000 angry girlfriends, and she was like, "What are we doing here?"
Now, how did she find out about it?
She went through my phone. I was asleep.
What, you just had your phone unlocked? What year phone was this? What was it?
I used to be on like a big kind of personal thing where I was like, I don't lock my phone. I'm just kind of one of those
just
guys.
Retarded.
Yeah, I'm one of those retarded type of guys.
Yeah, that's what, that's what that is. You're just mind-blowingly retarded.
There was no passcode, no Face ID. I said, check it out, dumbass. You're going to hate it.
The
And
background of your phone is just texts from other people. It's like, I don't know. Just does that.
It was bad. And she woke me up, and I felt a hit to the sternum. And she said, what is this? And I was like, oh, you would. And then I went back to sleep.
And you said, oh, you would?
I said, oh, you would. This is 21 years old. And then woke up the next day, and we had to talk through that one. And apparently starting the conversation with, oh, you would is not the best move.
None of that is great. Well, first off, your first mistake was
the unlocked phone.
The unlocked phone.
That was crazy. In retrospect, I lock it now, but I don't have the effort to. I think as you get like somewhat older, the effort to cheat just seems insane.
The effort to cheat?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's more like it depends on, one, age.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on age, definitely. And two, it depends on environment you're in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've been cheated on a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And really it was because the environment they were in was like just lending themselves for dong everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's like there are certain times where like I would be, and I'll say this, every time I have been suspicious, I've been right.
Yes.
Every time I've been like, this seems a little fishy.
Yeah,
I've been right every time.
There's no reason to think it's happening if it's not. Like there's really no indications. Me and my girlfriend were so goddamn boring. The idea of cheating, I'm like, don't we have to go to bed tonight?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if I've never cheated. So like I don't know, like, and part of me thinks like even if I've had opportunity to cheat.
Yeah.
But in my head I didn't recognize that opportunity until like I was driving. I'm like, oh, I could have done that. Like I could have easily done. I'm like, but I'm glad I didn't. But like I was like, oh, she was really throwing gas.
Yes.
I didn't even really think about.
One of my best friends in college, towards the end of college, and then we hung out like a couple years after, told me, he's like, if a girl wants to cheat with you, just think about it has to reek. Everything has to reek. Just think about, and I know that sounds mean, and I mean this in the most feminist way. Just it has to smell.
I'm doing it to be a good guy.
I love women everywhere. Hillary Clinton. I wish you were my mom. But the idea of if somebody's being that aggressive at you, it cannot be a nice aroma. And from then on out, I was like, okay, that makes
Here's what I'm going to
sense.
say. From past experience when I was single,
Mm-hmm.
that's unfounded.
You don't think so?
No, what I'm saying is I've had women thrown at me, and the pussy smelled great. It's like everything was cool. I was like, this is great.
Foiled again.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying stick to your guns. Think it's a fucking sewer down there.
Okay.
If that's what's going to get you out of the doghouse, or like, where you're like, I can't do this. It smells.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm allergic. I can't do it.
It also helps. I mean, I just got a Nintendo Switch, so like the idea of like going home with a woman and not playing my Nintendo Switch sounds insane.
You know what? I appreciate your dedication to being a gay nerd.
Just playing my Nintendo Switch and be like, pussy stinks, I hate it, so gross, it's the worst thing of all time.
No, look, I have to see what Zelda...
I have to get back to Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah. It's pretty intense. It's better than any pussy I've ever seen in my life.
My girlfriend's like, he's a good guy. I'm like, I have severe autism.
Yeah, baby, you don't have to worry about me. If you get me in front of a video game, I'm yours for life. All right, we got one more message.
Let's get it.
Oh, but what do I think is shit? Sorry. What do I think is worse? I guess snooping is always bad. I think snooping is always bad. I think you should really confront the person before you snoop. Be like, hey, I'm really worried about this, and I really think this, and if there's something else going on, please tell me now. But like snooping, going through someone's phone, it's kind of like, as much as information you could find, you got to be prepared for whatever you will find. It's like, you got to either trust that they'll tell you the truth or move on. Just move on completely. If you can't have a reasonable conversation with somebody, it's maybe time to get out of that to begin with. Final thought.
Fair. Pretty fair.
That's what I think. That's what I think.
Yo, Gay Rye here, man. Been a while. That song? Been a while since I said I'm sorry. I think that's a gay-ass Nickelback or some fruity-ass band like that. Avenged Sevenfold or one of those fags. But my question was, what's your favorite South Park character, dude? I like Cartman, but Kenny's cool. I like Mr. Garrison when he changed into, like, Trump. That was pretty cool. I think the newest shit kind of sucks balls, but, let them do what they do. It might get better, who knows. But, yeah, let me know. What's your favorite South Park, dude? Peace, broski, Ryan, brother. International Ryan Bros. Peace.
That's Gay Ryan.
Is there a rule you have to be on Percocet to call in, or you can just call in? What is the
It's
method
very
of this?
required. Actually, it's not required. It's encouraged.
Yeah.
It's strictly encouraged. It's funny. He's like, it's been a while. It's not. It's not been a while. It's not been a while.
And he
Ryan.
comes in with crazy stuff. Avenged Sevenfold's gay. What is this guy out of his stone, dude?
Man, I would say Avenged Sevenfold's kind of gay.
Oh my
Kinda gay.
god, dude! Why would you ever say that?
Kinda
to
gay
me in the
rock
middle
metal.
of the day. Oh god. All right, fair.
It's Hot Topic rock.
Yeah. Okay.
Hot Topic rock.
Yeah, that's kind of me. I'm kind of Hot Topic rock.
Nah.
No, I used to be Hot Topic rock. Growing up, dude, I was just one of the scene kids, if you ever had those. So.
Were you? Wait a minute.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, baby boy.
Wait a minute. How seen were you?
How seen was he?
How seen were you?
I got kicked out of my class in 8th grade for flipping my hair too much. That's how seen I was. And that's not a joke. I used to go like this. I would push it all up, and I'd go like that. And my teacher's like, you got to get out, or I'm going to kill myself in front of all these kids. That's how seen I was, dude.
Man,
Oh, yeah.
that is awful. Were you a ring guy?
No rings.
No
rings are
rings?
new.
Rings?
Rings are eternally gay.
Yeah, rings are eternally gay.
There's a new ring movement that, like, I've heard some people be like, it's kind of hot, it's kind of cool.
Who
Nah.
says it's hot? What fucking maniac woman is saying that rings are hot? I've never seen a woman be like, ooh, look at that ring on that man.
Yeah, I don't know who it is, but it rhymes with Schmerl friend. And look, fellas, I'll hit her when I get home. I'll do whatever I can to make
actually,
this
put
right.
on rings when you do it. Dude, I've put on brass knuckles before and been like, I'm gay. I'm like, this is cool, but
Yeah.
this is.
It
I
is
still
not. People
feel-
are getting their nails done now. Like,
Yeah,
dudes
you
are
know-
getting painted nails.
Never, look, I'm not, do whatever you want.
Mhm.
I don't understand that at all. Never understood manicures or pedicures from a male perspective. I don't really get it. I've never been a jewelry guy ever in my life.
Yeah. That's not okay. Look, guys, that's well, I'll give you that one. Sometimes you get tricked into getting a forever bracelet with your beauty queen. Guys, look, you asked the gayest comedian in Philly to come on the podcast. This is what you're getting. I was 9 craft breweries or craft drinks deep at a brewery fest, and she's like, why don't we get a bracelet? And I was like, I wouldn't love nothing more than that. And I went and I got it, and the girl was like looking at me making it because they have to like zap it onto your wrist. She was looking at me like, you have no self-respect, do you?
No,
and I was like,
I would be like, this is wild.
it was the worst thing of all time.
I would honestly, the whole thing is that, and again, I don't know what is that made out of? Is that gold?
I think silver. I don't know, dude. Now you're asking me metals.
I don't know. I think that's the straightest thing anybody can ask. With a bracelet, it's like, what is that made out of?
It's made out of heavy metals
Yeah,
and
dude,
shit
silver,
like that, dude.
No werewolves.
Whatever,
Yeah,
dude. Just for that, I'm getting a pedicure after this.
I'm immune. I think if you were gonna go, like, getting an anklet would have been funnier.
An anklet?
If you were like, no, babe.
They asked me where I wanted it. They offered an ankle. They did. I swear to God.
Why didn't you do that?
Because I wouldn't be able to keep it up the entire time. I have weak
That
hamstrings.
would have been so funny just to get an anklet. I'm like, no, I'll never take it off, babe.
I don't think so. It's just for us.
This is for us. Or getting a toe ring.
A toe ring would be.
Toe
Now,
ring.
toe ring is when it gets less gay. I think a toe ring is pretty sick. Dude, if that guy that you pissed on his toes, if he had a toe ring
No,
on,
I would be way more worried.
it'd be an issue.
I would be, you know what would be gross if I pissed on his toe ring and I saw there was a rust ring around it? I'd be like, no. He's like, I just hang out here.
You know what just happened?
Fire season, am I right? It's like,
Do you have change?
best favorite South Park character. Honestly, I think one of my, I've not, I'm trying to think of the last time I watched South Park.
Really?
And I can't even tell you.
I like to not watch that often, but when you tune in, like I'm a big Butters guy.
Butters is great.
Butters is the most lovable.
Butters
guy of all time.
is great.
And I
He's a
relate to
great
him the
character.
most. Yeah.
Randy Marsh, I really loved.
Of course.
For the longest time.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I'm assuming he's still on the show.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's still there.
They killed him off.
The last time I like watched, but not like really sat down and paid attention, but I did see it on. Didn't he fucking own like a weed farm or something like that?
Yeah, there's something like that.
Yeah, but then that was like the last time I saw anything with Randy Marsh. But I think one of my favorite episodes with I think most people would agree is when the boys are in the Little League championships.
Okay.
And he's got to go with them to fight other fathers at the baseball parks. And he's like so pumped about it, and he just gets more and more drunk, and it's like he's getting arrested, and his pants are falling. It's like, that's America, that's America. He's just so funny, and him being shocked about things when he's like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, it's just fucking Trey Parker and Matt Stone. The voice work that they do on that show is phenomenal.
The funniest. I mean, the episode where he accidentally says the N-word and then starts a movement about not making people feel bad for saying the N-word.
It's so good.
It's the funniest thing. Because it's also it's one of my favorite things they ever did in there. And I hate to just talk about a scene from a show in here, but when he starts to get upset that people ask you to donate to like a cause when you're at a store.
Yeah.
And then that makes you feel bad about yourself when you don't donate. And he starts an entire movement about like, stop asking us to donate. Because he goes to a store and he's like, did you want to donate to charity for kids in Africa? And he's like, not today. And they go, okay, we have a little mannequin of a little hungry girl in Africa. Why don't you pull that sandwich out of her mouth real quick? And then he starts to pull it, and it's hard to grab it. And he goes, ooh, she's hungry. You got to really fight for that one. The greatest. Oh, man.
I wanted when I worked at there was a restaurant I worked at for a while, and especially even when I worked at a grocery store, and that was what really exposed me to epic amounts of food waste.
Yeah,
it's mind blowing. If anybody's ever worked at a grocery store and you see how much food you're throwing away that is you can still eat it.
Yeah,
and then try to think how many grocery stores are in a mile radius of one another, and then you think about all the grocery stores in the country, and every day is just billions of dollars of waste. And then then I worked at a restaurant and watched how many people would just never finish their food.
Yeah,
and you're just like, eat it.
Yeah,
eat it. There are literally people that would die for any of it. And I thought about how great it would be, like if someone was like, "Oh, I don't want my food," just putting on the table like a starving child.
Yeah.
Just a picture of a small.
You're like,
So it's like this is the person. It's like they're
he would
gonna die.
love to have.
He would have loved it.
Yeah.
He would have loved it.
There is an off chance you send it to the hungry kid and he's like, I would never.
Yeah, I would wonder if that would actually happen.
Well, there's like advertisements, at least that I've noticed, going shopping. I don't ever go grocery shopping, but when I do, it seems like they're advertising, like the marketing thing is, oh, this is actual food, like organic food or this and that. It's weird that branding, something to brag about, is like, oh, this is real stuff.
Yeah.
This is real chicken. This is real vegetable, whatever.
That happened in fucking what year was it? I think it was like 2003.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's redid their branding on their chicken nuggets, and they said now made with 100% chicken. Like everyone was like,
hell
"What
were you
the
doing in
fuck
there, dude?"
were we eating before?" I remember being like, "Wait a minute, what was it?"
Yeah.
Beforehand, and
Maybe it was like pieces of the Twin Towers. Like beforehand, they're just putting little tiny pieces in there, and then once it went down, and they're like, we can't even use this anymore. You never know, Ryan. Who knows, dude?
Dude, it's crazy when you travel because different like food regulations. When I was in Costa Rica, all this like they had like an American aisle,
yeah.
and it was just like normal like Cheez-Its and shit like that, and everything had to be labeled novelty item, not fit for human consumption. Because
Yeah.
it didn't
Oh my
meet the
God.
criteria for actual food.
Holy
Dude,
shit.
America rules with that shit.
Yeah, true.
I think the craziest thing that America has on any country is our candy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know like other countries have like wacky, goofy things, but like the shit that I remember as a kid that now like I'll see in stores, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
Like sour foam now?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen this shit?
No, but I can imagine.
Dude, imagine like Warhead's foam.
Yeah.
So basically you just fill your mouth with like expanding foam. I'm dead serious. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I like went on YouTube and I just watched some kid like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, watching. It looked like fucking insulation. You're
Oh,
like,
God.
what the fuck is happening
Oh,
here?
next time you come across that, pick
Dude,
pick me up.
it looked amazing. And it was like, this is what kids are going ape shit for?
Yeah.
Because I remember being a kid thinking Fun Dip was like apex. Like, what is
Right.
this shit?
But why are they making like kids candy like sexy? Like you get a kid and now, and I don't mean now. Let me
Now,
stress
wait, I was going to
this.
say, what are you doing?
I don't find it that way, but you got a mouthful of foam for a kid.
I don't find it that way. But I am saying these kids are
I'm
turning
saying you
me
got
on.
kids running around with a mouthful of foam, and you're like, all right, that's a little weird
Well,
looking.
see, that's the whole thing is like you can say that, but I've also watched kids eat push pops. Very weird.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
It's like just chill out.
there's
dude.
nothing that it even like you remember Baby Bottle Pop.
Of course, I remember
Baby Bottle Pop was like another fucking like what? And like I was at the right age for Baby
Yeah.
Bottle Pop, but I remember being like, what?
Yeah.
The fuck are we doing?
I remember like ring pops.
Ring pops are great.
I was like, I don't want to watch my boys suck their fingers.
Dude,
I don't
and
even
that's-
like that now.
You know what? That's the only time I've ever worn jewelry.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've actually ever worn jewelry.
You wore it on your toes.
It's like
dude.
I
know you
had
did.
like all the rings. I'm like, yo. I'm like Thanos.
just
I'm
gay
salted.
Thanos. Yeah.
Gay Thanos.
One snap and you're
I'm
like, yes, queen.
Is that cherry? I'm gonna make all these dicks disappear.
Cherry is the time stone.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I thought ring pops were like neat,
Yeah.
but I honestly like just
Yeah.
sucking on your fist was like
I'm telling you.
odd.
It was
like an
crazy.
odd thing.
We play like I played basketball growing up. Between basketball tournaments, like instead of like oranges and grapes, the parents gave up and they would just buy you a bag of candy. So you'd be between
Oh,
sports games,
man.
and all my homies, all my biggest, strongest homies would be sucking ring pops, and I go, guys, this has got to be bad for our aesthetic. I mean, you need a grape, you need to rip.
Now,
a-
were you were on a team?
Yes, no, I was just watching.
I was gonna say you were on a team and you're sitting on the bench.
No,
on the
I was
sidelines.
wearing a long coat and
Yeah.
a Jeff cap, and I was like, these boys are.
Gentlemen,
Quit sucking pops.
who's this? We gotta be out there. We gotta be breaking back parts.
We can't be sucking down sugar.
Wait a minute. What are you doing there? You got a warhead?
Oh,
Why don't you
okay.
grind it up and put it in your butt?
No, I'm not scared of it.
I'm not scared. I'll take two. I'll take two warheads. That was another thing. I remember there were kids who would put more than like 4 or 5 warheads in their mouth at a
Yeah.
time. And there was an urban legend that a kid died
Oh yeah.
in like some other state.
Yeah.
So like it was like 5's the limit. If
Mhm.
you go over 5, you're like signing your own death.
Yeah.
It was like honestly, like, kids were talking about the dangers of warheads the way that we talk about the dangers of fentanyl now. It's like no man, I remember a guy. It ruined his fucking life, dude. He was about to take the biggest spelling test of his life, and he ruined it. He's a nobody now.
He could have been a somebody.
Nobody even talks to him on the playground. He's over by the fucking whirlabout,
Now
sucking dick.
he's on K&A, sucking warheads.
He's ready for it. He's just coming out from behind the jungle gym like, hey, I get any watermelon warhead?
He's got sores itching his face because it's just too sour. He can't quite do it.
There was some wild ass, like, even, I'm trying to think of like candies that my nephew would eat that I was like, what the fuck is this? He also was really into these, and they had them when I was a kid, but they weren't that popular, but the fucking gummy pizzas.
Oh, dude. Gummy
Never
pizzas ruled. You never got into those?
No, I just like, they had them.
Yeah.
But I remember like the first time I ate a gummy burger, I was like, this doesn't, what is this?
Oh, you're missing out.
It didn't taste like really like gummy, and it didn't taste like a burger either.
Yeah.
It just tasted like weird shit you were chewing.
I loved the gummy burgers growing up. It was the first time I cooked. It was the first time I put ingredients together on top of something.
I think it's funny that you called that cooked.
Dude,
That's crazy.
I would eat it with two hands. I'd be like, don't bother me until I'm done my dinner. My mom would come in and bitch about stuff.
I've had a long day. I just played these kids.
My mom's unstrapping my boots at the door, and I'm
like-
eating the gummy burger.
It's
Yeah.
like, this is pretty good. This is a Big Mac. No, I've never got into. I never got into gummy pizzas. I loved gummy worms. I was a big gummy worm guy.
Yeah.
Big gummy bear guy.
course.
Still am. Like gummy bears. I've made mistakes with gummy bears. Made mistakes. I've filled my mouth too many with gummy bears, and then I've watched a TV show and laughed, and then.
You shot bears.
So what happened was I thought I swallowed all the bears, and I'll be watching TV, and I remember the day I was at my ex-girlfriend's house, and my nose started burning, and I was like, "What the fuck is the problem?" And I was like, come on. And I went to the bathroom and I blew out an entire gummy bear. That means I can do that thing where like you hork up like, the spaghetti thing.
It went all the way
It
through.
went up and out.
And out the nose.
What color gummy bear?
Oh, pineapple, baby.
Oh,
That's
and you
a
know-
good one.
you know
That's
what?
the one you want going through
Yeah,
your
believe
nasal
me,
cavity.
I think so.
I'll say this. It burnt a lot. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
Like you could feel it behind your eye. I'm like, what is it? Dude, a whole gummy bear.
Oh my
A
god.
whole Harbor Gold Bear coming out.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I wasn't fucking around. Pretty sick.
And those are too goddamn stiff too. So
Yeah,
you
I
can't
know.
do anything with it.
I know. That's why I was like, what is I didn't know what was happening. But when I was I was doing the like snot rocket thing.
Yeah.
And I was like giving birth out of my nose. I'm like, I see the hand. I'm like, come on. I was like, fuck shit. Finally got it out of there, and I yelled, and she was like, what happened? I was like, look. And she's like, where'd that from? I was like, it was in my fucking face.
I keep forgetting you're a grown man for this story. I kept
Yeah, I
thinking
know.
you was like a little boy.
Keep in mind, I was a 25-year-old man. Like a fucking retard, just like, I don't know what happened.
He's hooking Haribos again. He's back on the sauce.
Yeah, dude. I was really into gummy bears for a while. I think the only thing I can't get behind is Jelly Belly jelly beans. No, I got no problem with jelly beans. What I do think is crazy is the jelly beans that they make taste like vomit or sawdust.
Yeah, I don't like that whatsoever.
Or boogers or farts. And it's like, I get it.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like somebody had to develop that flavor.
Yeah, some guy kept tasting
And
it. He's
someone had to be like, not vomity enough.
he's just got like 9 recovering
I
alcoholics.
really want to
Like,
make these kids feel sick.
I want that. That's what I'm saying, dude. What are we doing to kids? We're making them suck things. We're making them eat vomit. It's really
You know
creepy,
what?
dude.
The one that tasted the worst was hate crime.
Yeah, I forgot the old flavor of resisting arrest. It was one of the toughest.
It was not great. It's like, what is this? Oh, that's Derek Chauvin.
What is it?
It's not great.
This one tastes exactly like a VFW haul. I don't know why they have a
I
similar-
mean, there was one, I think a while ago, they had one that said cigarette.
Did they
Like,
really?
and it was like wild.
Yeah.
Because it tasted just like shit.
Right.
Like, I
They had remember
was
candy
like, you
cigarettes?
nailed it. Oh, dude, do I remember?
Candy cigarettes went
Get
hard.
out of here.
Oh my god.
I was 2 packs a day, dude.
Yeah.
I was wild with Lucky.
You went too hard, dude. You were too much.
I would walk down the street just like, yo, what are you kids doing? You build a tree house, and like I'd have it dangling out of my mouth, like, I'll get you.
You got to get candy Zins now.
You know what? Oh, man.
Candy Zins, a
I've never had
Zins.
Zins. What are Zins?
I took one while I was drunk the other day, and it makes you feel like, and I don't want to, exaggerate, it makes you feel like you're the best, strongest, smartest guy of all time. That's how I would describe it. You put one in and you go, oh shit, I forgot I was never wrong about anything.
What are Zins?
It's just like a little pouch instead of like an actual, like, you used to like put tobacco in your lip.
Sure. I remember the pouch. Yeah.
And they have like tiny pouches just like filled with beautiful, good stuff.
What? No, what I'm saying, okay, you're explaining the physical Zin.
Okay.
What are Zins? What are they?
It's just pure nicotine. From my understanding,
Okay.
it's just a pure pouch of like nicotine. However they put it into the pouch. I think I really have no idea. It's a small white pouch. And you throw them in, and I've only started doing them while I've been inebriated. And
You just feel
boy,
great.
golly gosh, I just want to hug everybody. I go, you're the best.
Man.
It's nothing better than a nice little Zin.
I've never wanted a Zin.
Yeah.
Do you have Zins with you?
I don't have any with me right now. That's why I say I only do it when I'm drinking, which is a really kind of like smoking a cigarette when you're drinking. It looks
It's
kind of
amazing.
cool.
It not
looks
only
sick.
it feels great.
Right.
It feels great.
But putting a Zin in, and like, because at least a cigarette, it's like something to do with your hands. If
Sure.
you're with your buddies and you're all
And you're
drinking,
just still
you put a Zin
sucking
in,
on
you're
something like,
I don't know.
I just want to let you know you're my best friend in the world.
You snort out a gummy bear. You're
That's
like,
never good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Zins, but I never I honestly thought there was just like a new form of vape.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar. It's at least you're not like screwing up your lungs, but you take one in and it's like,
You're still fucking yourself up.
Yeah, of course.
Look, if I know anything about anything that feels good, it's not good for you.
don't look at me when you tell me that. dude.
Anything that feels good,
If you want to know stuff about things that feel good, man, I could teach you.
it's not good. If you start feeling bliss, you're dying.
True, yeah.
That's not great.
You get a quick hit. It's like the initial hit of an Adderall, and you really feel that.
Oh man, Adderall.
Yeah.
If only that gave me the high that it did everybody else.
No good?
No. I've recreationally taken Adderall, and I've been like, you know what?
Yeah.
Guys, we should really buckle down.
Oh, really? You're one of the...
I'm one of the people who should have been prescribed it their entire life.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's the worst part about like when those became like everywhere, and people are like, yo, you want one? I'd be like, yeah, sure. And I would take like half of one. I'd be like, you know what I want to do? I think I should go home and really get cracking on that homework.
It really is crazy. Someone gave me one because I got caught up at Helium, and I'm like, no way, it's 4:30. I have to be at work at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And they're like, sleep what you can and then take this, you'll be fine. I took that on maybe an hour and a half sleep. Greatest performance workday of my entire life. I've never got, I felt like I was on the Limitless pill.
That's crazy that you took one at 4:30. Usually you take one to stay up till 4:30.
No, he took one at 4:30
No,
and became a productive member of society.
Yeah, I took one at like 6 in the morning after I woke up, worst hangover. Popped it. By the time I got to work, and I rode it on my motorcycle.
Oh, dude,
So,
you hit a new level.
So it was like the most hungover you could possibly feel. My helmet's just echoing every vibration.
Damn, dude.
And I felt absolutely horrible. And by 8:30 a.m., crushing it. I was ahead.
Yeah, dude, it's wild.
Yeah.
And you don't I remember the first
most
time
vocal I was during the meeting. I'm like, actually, I do have some ideas.
Daddy, what's wrong? He's like, I've been abusing Adderall. I just want to let everyone know I've been abusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. I the first time I took Adderall was at a party. I think I was in my 20s, and I'd never taken it, and I'd done Vicodin and Valium and all this other shit. And someone was like, "Yo, you want some Adderall?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it."
Yeah.
And I took it, and I remember watching all my boys be kind of zooted, and I was like, guys,
yeah,
guys, gentlemen, guys,
yeah.
Let's all just calm down and watch Knockaround, guys.
Yeah. Sit down. Sit down.
You're look, Vin Diesel, maybe not the strongest actor, but he's doing a very good job in this movie.
That's the most Adderall thing you could say, is to compliment Vin Diesel. Nobody gets his work. He's big, strong, buff, and
honestly,
bald.
you know what? He's one of those guys, when you see him in a movie, maybe you're not pumped until the end, and then you realize why he's there, gentlemen. Holy shit, this has been the End Podcast. Matt, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, man.
Make sure you call the hotline, 833-443-5300. We will address any comment, question, concern, or possible cheating that's been happening to you. We're going to switch it over to Patreon later.